This is the story of every Japanese vehicle that took the battlefield in World War II. From the islands of the Pacific to China and Southeast Asia, Japan's armored, wheeled, and tracked machines tested the skill and resilience of their crews. Each engine, chassis, and weapon system reflected innovation, necessity, and wartime adaptation, shaping both offensive campaigns and defensive strategies. Early armored vehicles and pre-war experiments. Type 89 Igo medium tank, Japan's first mass-produced medium tank. Powered by a gasoline engine with a two-man crew, it mounted a 57mm low-velocity gun for infantry support. Its riveted armor was thin but mobile, allowing maneuver across uneven Chinese and Manchurian terrain. Crews learned how to coordinate with infantry, balancing speed with defensive positioning. Type 92 heavy tank Jusho, multi-turreted heavy tank intended for fortress assault. Each turret carried machine guns, and the main 57mm gun fired low-velocity shells at structures or personnel. While slow and mechanically complex, it allowed lessons in armor distribution, turret design, and multi-crew coordination. Type 95 Heigo light tank compact, fast and reliable, with a 37mm main gun and two machine guns. Armor was light, emphasizing mobility over protection. It became the standard light tank in China and early Pacific campaigns, excelling in reconnaissance, infantry support, and rapid flanking movements. Its suspension allowed relatively stable firing even on rough terrain. Late 1930s, early World War II. Type 97 Chiha medium tank. Equipped with a 57mm main gun and 25mm armor, the Chiha balanced firepower with mobility. Its diesel engine improved operational range, reduced fire risk, and allowed sustained operations in China and early Pacific campaigns. Suspension design and track width optimized performance over soft soils and muddy terrain. Crews learned coordinated maneuvers with infantry, using hull angles for defensive protection while positioning for effective enfilade fire. Its compact design also allowed transport on ships and over narrow roads for rapid deployment across multiple theaters. Type 97 Shinhoto Chiha upgraded with a 47mm high-velocity gun, larger turret, and slightly reinforced armor. Sloped frontal plates improved shell deflection, while gun stabilization and optics allowed more accurate targeting against lightly armored Allied vehicles such as M3 Stuarts. Diesel power improved reliability over long distances. Crews trained to coordinate turret rotation with hull movement for ambushes, and the internal layout allowed faster ammunition handling during sustained engagements. This variant represented Japan's first serious attempt to counter the increasing armor of Allied forces. Type 98 Kini light tank, small, fast, and highly maneuverable, with a 37mm gun and upgraded suspension. The lightweight chassis and improved diesel engine enabled rapid island deployment, reconnaissance, and quick flanking maneuvers. Its agility allowed operations in difficult terrain, including jungle, hills, and soft sand. Crews often used concealment and hull rotation to compensate for limited firepower, while hydraulics and track design minimized recoil impact during repeated firing. The Kenai was ideal for scouting, ambushes, and supporting infantry in small-scale engagements. Late war medium and heavy tanks. Type 3 Chi-Nu medium tank. Equipped with a 75mm gun in a larger turret and thicker armor, powered by a reliable diesel engine. Designed specifically to counter M4 Shermans in defensive operations on the Japanese home islands, it allowed crews to engage at longer ranges. Advanced optics and gun elevation adjustments enabled more accurate fire over uneven terrain. Crews coordinated positions using camouflage, terrain features, and hull rotation for aiming, making the Chi-Nu an effective ambush and defensive platform despite limited production. Type 4 Chito medium tank. Mounted a 75mm high-velocity gun, heavier armor, and upgraded suspension for improved cross-country performance. Diesel engine power allowed higher speed and better operational range than earlier medium tanks. Lessons learned from Chi-Nu deployments were applied to its turret layout and internal crew ergonomics. Very few were built, but it reflected Japan's continued effort to match Allied medium armor with longer-range guns, reinforced frontal protection, and improved crew efficiency in defensive island scenarios. Type 5 Chiri heavy tank. Japan's answer to late-war Allied heavy tanks with up to 75 to 88mm main gun, sloped frontal armor, and advanced diesel engine for a tank of its weight class. Complex turret mechanisms allowed better gun traverse and faster targeting, while reinforced suspension distributed weight for rough terrain stability. Only prototypes were completed, but it incorporated lessons in armor angling, crew compartment design, survivability, and firepower. It was intended for defensive operations against invading Allied forces on Japanese home islands, combining mobility with heavy armament. Tank destroyers and specialized vehicles. Type 1 Honey 1/2/3 self-propelled gun family. Type 1 mounted a 75mm gun on a Type 97 chassis. Type 2 had a 105mm howitzer. Type 3 combined 75mm high-velocity gun in a fully casemated superstructure. Crews relied on hull-mounted recoil mechanisms and precise positioning to maximize effectiveness. These vehicles were primarily defensive, ambushing Allied armor from concealed positions. Type 4 Ho-Ro 150mm howitzer on a modified chassis, providing mobile artillery support. Recoil absorption systems allowed repeated firing without damaging the frame. Used to support infantry in defensive positions and island fortifications. Type 5 Na-2 late-war tank destroyer with a 75mm anti-tank gun on a heavy chassis. Limited production, but lessons in long-range tank engagement and armor optimization were applied to late prototypes. Armored cars and wheeled vehicles. Type 92/Type 98 armored cars, light reconnaissance vehicles with machine guns. High mobility allowed rapid scouting and flanking maneuvers. Crews operated under light armor, relying on speed and terrain knowledge to avoid direct combat with enemy tanks. Type 1 Ho-K/Type 1 Ho-Ha armored half-tracks for troop transport and supply. Machine guns mounted on rotating turrets or pintle mounts provided infantry support. Hydraulic suspension improved ride quality over rough terrain. Widely used in China and Southeast Asia for logistic and combat support. Amphibious and special vehicles. Type 2 Kami amphibious tank, light 37mm gun, watertight hull, and detachable pontoons for water landings. Designed for island assaults, its buoyancy allowed safe transport from landing craft to shore. Crews coordinated sea-to-shore maneuvers, often under fire while maintaining combat readiness. The suspension and track design provided stable movement once on land, and the compact turret allowed quick targeting of enemy positions immediately after landing. Its dual-purpose capability made it critical for rapid beachhead establishment in early Pacific campaigns. Type 3 Ka-Chi larger amphibious tank with 47mm main gun, thicker armor, and pontoons for ship-to-shore operations. Diesel engines powered both water and land movement, while reinforced hull and waterproofing ensured survivability in surf conditions. The suspension absorbed wave impacts and uneven terrain, allowing crews to quickly transition from naval transport to combat-ready positions. It served as both an assault and support vehicle, covering infantry and providing suppressive fire during landings on fortified beaches. Type 4 K2 small amphibious transport for personnel or light cargo. Twin engines and a sealed hull enabled stealthy ship-to-shore deployment, often under limited enemy fire. Tracks and pontoons allowed low-profile movement across water and soft sand, while reinforced hull sections protected critical components. Mostly experimental, it demonstrated Japan's focus on versatile amphibious logistics, including rapid resupply, engineering support, and surprise landings in coastal and riverine operations, self-propelled artillery and rocket vehicles. Type 1 Honey series hull-mounted guns with limited traverse, used for direct or indirect fire support. Crews had to rotate the entire vehicle for horizontal aiming, teaching coordination under fire. Type 4 Ho-Ro 150mm howitzer with recoil buffer and reinforced chassis. Mobile artillery used to defend islands against amphibious landings, often firing over obstacles or from hidden positions. Experimental rocket units. Late war attempts to deploy rocket artillery similar to the German Katyusha, mostly used in defensive bombardments on home islands. Limited production, but tested Japanese ability to integrate area effect weapons into mobile platforms. Experimental and rare vehicles. Type 5 Ki-Ho light tank late war prototype, designed to improve on the Type 95 Hago. Slightly thicker armor, 37mm high-velocity main gun, upgraded diesel engine. Suspension and turret layout improved cross-country stability and crew operation efficiency. Only a few prototypes completed. Type 5 Ho-Ri tank destroyer. Super heavy tank destroyer project mounting 105 to 150mm gun on Type 5 Chi-Ri chassis. Thick-sloped armor and reinforced suspension designed for long-range anti-tank engagements and island defense. Only chassis built. Type 4 Kato experimental self-propelled artillery with fully mounted 75 to 105mm gun. Recoil system protected chassis allowing repeated firing. Tested for infantry support on home islands. Type 98 Tar-C and anti-aircraft variants. Experimental anti-aircraft tanks on Type 98 chassis. mounted 20 to 37mm autocannons with targeting systems to engage aircraft. Extremely limited production, but provided mobile air defense capabilities. Armored engineering and utility vehicles reinforced Type 94 and Type 97 tractors, bridge layers, and half-tracks. Towed artillery, transported engineers, and carried demolition equipment. Essential for island operations and jungle terrain mobility. From Hargo, light tanks to Chiha and Chinu, from amphibious Kami to specialized Honi and Horo, Japanese vehicles adapted to every battlefield. Each design reflected speed, mobility, and the limits of wartime industry, balancing firepower with the realities of Pacific and Asian terrain. Subscribe and comment which nation's full arsenal you want explored next.